Hi, this is Karin from howtotap.com, and today we're just going to jump right in and start working with suicidal thoughts, high anxiety, and panic attacks. This is a very short way to do it, and work with this, and it always works. And then I'm going to explain, after we do it, I'm going to explain why it works and how it works. So if you ever need to come back to this, you can just jump right in. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take a big breath in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. We're going to keep doing this for a little bit. In through your nose. Big breaths. And if you've been crying and you can't breathe in through your nose, just breathe in through your mouth. And drop your shoulders. And I don't care if you're just keep breathing. And I'll explain to you why this works. Drop your shoulders. Just very slowly. I don't want you to hyperventilate. Now I want you to also, when you're breathing, I want you to try to use your your stomach rather than breathing in through your chest. Breathe in through your stomach. Nobody's watching you, so you're not going to look like you have lots of weight on or anything. And breathe out. There's a whole reason why we're doing this. And I also want you can put your hand over your heart, or your heart chakra, or the middle of your chest, or whatever you want to call it. This is very similar to heart math breathing. Okay. You can also take 2 fingers and put it on what's called the Gamut Point, which is on a meridian called the triple warmer. And it just calms down the whole system. Now, when I'm talking to you, what I'd like you to do is just press on all the points. Now, if you're going through panic, you see how I'm pressing on. This is one of the meridian points in here. It's actually one on each side. I just do this so that you get both sides because it's a mirrored system. And just keep breathing very slowly. And while you're pushing on these points, and I'm going to use mostly just a few points rather than all of them, because usually when people are in panic attacks, they can't think. And I'll explain that to you why too. And you're probably looping all the terrible things, the panic attacks. I can't believe that I can't go outside. What was I thinking? Just all those you repeat, I can't do this. I'm hijacked. I have no control. You can't make me. I can't make me. I'm not going to make it through this. All these things, just let those run through your head. Now, at this point, please. Again, you see I'm using like a little claw. And you're putting your hand where, if you were like a Christmas ornament, where your string would be. Again, don't hyperventilate. And if this is your first time doing this, please watch the whole video so you can find out why the heck I'm doing this. And you see this time I went through my whole mouth. It's fine to do that. And then there's a point on the side of your hand. Just breathe. And I'm just going to push right here. There's points here. It's sometimes known as the fear point, to lower fear. It's right on the bone of the eye, right underneath the pupil if you're looking forward. And then you just repeat it. Now, if you know EFT or tapping, just keep breathing while I do this. You could actually say out loud all the things that you're anxious for, and you just tap on all the points. So if you are an EFTer, you just ramble about all the things you're afraid of, and all the things that you don't know what's going on, and how uncomfortable you are, and everything you're feeling. And if you don't know what to say, I can do a little bit later if you'd like to just go through, even though I'm panicky and terrified, and I don't know, my emotions are being hijacked. And I'm not okay, I want to be. I have no control. I wish I had control. My emotions are controlling me. I'll never get out of this. I can't even go outside. Why can't I be in control? And sometimes anger comes up. I get so angry that I'm at my own self. I get so angry at whoever it is that made me feel like this. And sometimes I just feel so silly. And you can do more of that. But right now, I'm going to explain to you, while we stay here, what happens when you go into a panic attack. What's going on, and you'll see that I'm going to keep breathing and keep pushing on a point, and you can rub it if you want. What's happening is that when you go into a panic attack or thoughts of suicide or high anxiety, what happens is the body takes the blood from the frontal cortex of your brain and it takes it out of the frontal cortex of your brain, not all of it, but a large amount of it, and brings it to your skeleton, to your muscles, which came from, we have to run from the tiger, we have to run from the bear, or we have to stay and fight. So what that does is you don't need blood in your brain or to be able to digest food. What you want to do is you have to be able to run, or you have to be able to fight. So what you're doing is that you're in the flight, fight, freeze response, and just change to a different point. And that's actually to keep you safe when there were lions and tigers and bears where you had to run to. But now we don't have that anymore. So what we do instead is we go to emotional responses. We go into emotional stresses. So this actually because of your stress response, what's happening is you can't think, because this is where cognitive thinking happens, is right here. So this is why in suicidal thoughts you think, there's no reason to live. I can't, or you're in a deep panic, or nobody loves me, or I'm completely out of control, I'm hijacked. You don't think clearly because all the blood leaves your brain. And what happens when you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth? Quite honestly, there's something called the vagus bundle in your back, and when you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, the muscles are massaging this vagus bundle, and what that does is it triggers something to your brain. It sends a message to your brain is that it's okay. You don't have to be in the fight, freeze response. That's why when a lot of people are panicking or anxiety, just keep holding the points. They breathe up high and they hyperventilate a little bit because everything's up here. You're not massaging the vagus bundle. It's very difficult to stay panicky when you're breathing through the diaphragm, through the stomach. And then what happens is you have to do it for a little bit, because you have to give your body time to get the blood back into the front of your brain. And then suddenly you have choices. And then suddenly it doesn't look so terrible. Now, if you really do have suicidal thoughts, of course there's lots of hotlines that you can call, and also text lines that you can call and text someone if if you're more comfortable with texting. But if you do this first, it's going to be completely different. And by the way, if you are thinking that you don't have anybody that loves you, I just want to tell you one thing, and this is from my clients asked me to say. I'm still pressing on this point right here, side of the hand. And that is, you have me. That's something that they say that they really feel, is that my genuine care for them and my genuine care for people, because I believe in my heart, with every cell in my body, that everyone's here for a reason. Everyone's here for a purpose. Everyone has goodness inside of them, no matter how bad they've been, or how much they've not done, or how selfish they are, or even if they did really bad, nasty things. I think that there's reasons in our past that we learn this, either epigenetically or passed down, or we just didn't learn correctly, or our parents taught it without knowing, without meaning to. And so you're just the way you are because of what you learned, which means you can relearn it and be different. And so you are worthwhile. Once we get rid of all these issues that you have, then even just start to doing that, you'll see that you are a wonderful being, and you have so much to offer the world. And so they wanted me to tell you that. So if you don't believe anybody loves you, at least you know I do. Even if I've never met you. Because you're a being. And every human is wonderful. So if you continue to do that for a while, you'll start to relax. Your shoulders will start to relax. The blood will start coming back into your frontal cortex. You'll be able to think. And then there is not anyone. There's been a lot of what I was going to say is there's not anyone who, when they after they took the pills, didn't say, oh my goodness, I should have taken the pills. I really want to die. There's been some studies that anyone who's lived through this, what happens is once they do something to jump off a bridge or something like that, they always think, oh, as soon as I let go of the bridge, I wish I could swim back to it in the air and grab it, because it's never that awful that you have to take your life. And even if you're high anxiety, it's never that awful that you can't leave your house or that you're afraid of a spider, because there's a reason why you have a phobia. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing embarrassing. It just feels so embarrassing because it's not logical to be terrified of a spider 400 feet away, right? But that's okay because you learned it. So as long as you find a way to breathe and press on the points to calm the emotions, you're back in control. And then we go back and you find yourself a practitioner or somebody who can help you, like what I do, and find out what you learned that made anxiety, this terrible panic, a coping skill, or what made you think that there is no other choice other than to kill yourself. And there is a reason you're feeling like that. There is a reason why panic is a coping skill for you. You're just trying to keep yourself safe. You just don't, if the spider's going to eat you or whatever you think is fine. We just find a practitioner that can help you find out and clear why you're like this in the first place, why this is your go-to coping skill. And especially if you're suicidal, there's no reason that in the world for you to take your own life. And it's as bad as somebody else taking your life. And so there's people who do what I do. We do it because we care about people. So find somebody, get some help, and I love you.